What is your opinion on, the little disagreement between Sam Laidlow and Sam Long?
I mean, obviously I was there for the whole thing, and I'm also good friends with both athletes. And I think in my position as pro liaison, while of course I have to keep a level of professionalism, my personality, I can't not be friends with all of these guys. And I'll genuinely say that majority of the professional athletes that I deal with on a daily basis, I consider them to be my friends, and they are great people. I mean, that's one of the greatest things about our sport, is that the people in them, the professional athletes that I deal with day in, day out, they're such terrific people on and off the race course. And both Sam Long and Sam Laidlow are the same. They're very young athletes. I think sometimes we forget just how young Sam Laidlow is. He's 23. I mean, he's a baby. And even though he's been in the sport since he was 4 years of age, which makes him a very mature triathlete, he's still 23 years of age. So he's a very young man. And Sam Long, well, I've known him since he was 23 anyway. I still remember when he first came to Noosa as a young athlete that had all the aspirations to turn professional. I didn't know if he had what it took, to be honest. When he first came here, he was, and he won't mind me saying this, he was a very dorky, came to the pool one day, had absolutely no idea, told us all he was here to learn how to be a professional athlete. He came to Noosa because that's where all the professional athletes trained. And he came to our swim squad and he wanted to go straight into the top lane. And I said, well, Sammy, how well do you swim? I said, because that top lane, they're fast. And I said, I'm not in the top lane. I'm in like the third lane. He goes, oh, no, I'll start in the top lane. Anyway, he started in the top lane, moved down to the next lane. And then by the end of the session, he was down swimming behind me. So, but I got to give him credit, because this is a young guy that had made a decision. I want to be a professional athlete. And if I want to make it in this world, then I need to be swimming in lane 1. He learned that that's not how it exactly works. But to watch the athlete that I knew back then that came to Noosa not that long ago, to the athlete that he is today, which is one of the best in the world, truly remarkable. And if you had have asked me back then, I would have said, I don't think he's got what it takes. And to see that he has absolutely proven me wrong, it's truly remarkable. And he's a great athlete. But getting back to the two Sams, they are completely different personalities. And let's be honest, I mean, we want that in our sport. I don't want a sport full of the same personalities. How boring. One of the greatest things about our sport is that we have such varied personalities throughout that it makes it really exciting. And both Sam Laidlow and Sam Long are outspoken, but outspoken in completely different ways. And I think what happened in the Collins Cup is it was just all blown out of proportion. And yes, the PTO jumped on it. They loved it. And so they probably pushed it a little bit more than what some people liked. But it was from the Sam Laidlow's perspective, it was all in good fun. I think Sam Long took it to heart a little too seriously.
Do you think Sam Long took it too hard?
Yeah. I mean, either he took it too hard or it was just part of his mental strategy. I don't know. It certainly affected me because I just felt bad for him more than anything. I think I kind of feel like if it was anybody else on the start line, they would have just given it back and it would have been kind of funny.
Once the dust had settled and they'd realised that maybe they had pushed it a little bit too far and Sam Long had taken it to heart, Sam Laidlow was the first one, and the PTO were the first ones to go up and say, you know what, this has got a little bit out of control. We didn't mean for this to happen. And yeah, the two Sams, I don't think they'll ever be best buddies. They don't need to be. But do they have a mutual respect for each other? Absolutely, they do. And I think that's Sam Laidlow was the first one to come out and apologise and say, I'm really sorry, we pushed this too far. We've just got a different sense of humour here. I said it before, Sam Laidlow, even though I know he lives in France, races for France, he's got a British sense of humour. And it's very sarcastic sense of humour. I think Australians and New Zealanders, we understand that. It's our sense of humour too. So I thought it was pretty funny.
I don't know. I know the Brits and Australians and stuff have a very kind of they like the sarcasm, yeah. They like the banter. For whatever reason, Sam didn't take it that way this time, which is a shame.
But Sam Long coming from the USA, the sense of humor is a little different there. So I understand where it was lost in translation. But Sam Long was also one of the first people to get on Instagram and give a big shout out to Sam Laidlow and say what a fantastic performance and can't wait to race you again next year. And so, yeah, it was good for the sport at the end of the day.
Exactly. And they're both, you know, when it all comes down to it, they realize what's going on, and they're both gracious enough to reach out to each other. So